The contrast between the speeches we've seen Vice President Kamala Harris give recently, the Oval Office address by President Biden, and whatever the heck Donald Trump did in North Carolina yesterday, it cannot be more stark. On the one hand, you have Donald Trump seething with jealousy over the crowd sizes of Vice President Kamala Harris. You've got Trump making weird noises on stage. And then you have President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris presenting a vision for the future. In the case of President Biden, passing the torch to Vice President Kamala Harris and future generations to improve our country and advance it. And for Donald Trump, pull us way back, but also pull us into just some deranged weirdness. Let me just show you Trump seething with jealousy, and then let me compare it, though, to the speeches. One, the Oval Office address by President Biden and some speeches given by Kamala Harris recently. So here's Donald Trump whining about the crowd sizes that Vice President Kamala Harris is receiving and the media attention she's getting. Play the clip.
You could multiply her crowds times 20 and 30 and she wouldn't get what we get. 107,000 people recently in New Jersey. We might win New Jersey. We're up in New Jersey. 82,000 in South Carolina. 82,000. And by the way, we would have had a number here that would have been through the roof. But, you know, we are confined. As beautiful as this arena is, I just met the owner. He said it's an all-time record. Because, you know, they have basketball, hockey, but with basketball, hockey, you can't fill up the floors, right? So we set the all-time record, and he's a very nice gentleman, great family. But we set the all-time record. And if this thing were twice as large, it would be filled up with the people outside.
Then Trump wants to claim that his crowd sizes are bigger. Play the clip.
And if I ever had a crowd like Kamala, assuming she had 2,000 people, which I don't think she did, but if I ever had a crowd, they'd do headline stories. Trump is over. It's all over. It's not working for him anymore. They never mentioned the crowd.
Okay, now compare that to what President Biden said about passing the torch to future generations. Here, play this clip.
When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country, is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause cherish it so much. A cause of American democracy itself must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
Okay, now compare that to Donald Trump up there, just making weird noises. Here, play this clip.
And she goes, Olympic tryouts. Mom and Dad are in the front. And I hate to do it. You know, my wife says it's so unpresidential when you do that. Can you believe it? So I'm embarrassed. I used to give it a big push, but now I'm embarrassed. You know, I know I'm embarrassed to do it. She said, darling, your speech was wonderful, but please do stop with the weightlifting and the swimming. It's so unpresidential. You know, she's a class act. But I said, but people like it. People like it.
He did it again. Play the clip.
Yeah, turn off your cameras for a second, okay? Boy, that's a lot of cameras. Man. No, they get it up and they can't quite do it. Oh. Mom, I'm sorry, Mom.
Here he is talking about Hannibal Lecter. Play the clip.
Prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Okay, they say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter? He must be cognitively in trouble. No, these are real stories. Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lamb. He's a lovely man. He wants to have you for dinner. He'd like to have you for dinner.
Then compare that to President Biden talking about while he reveres the office so much, he knows that what's most important here is the country and our democracy. Watch President Biden right here. Play the clip.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space, I'm surrounded by portraits of extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington, who showed us presidents are not kings. Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. And we can never forget that.
This summer, do you want to enjoy hemp products but don't know where to get them? Are you in a state where it's not legally accessible? Had enough of overpriced dispensaries? Whether you're lounging under the sun or exploring new adventures, Via's premium hemp products are your perfect companion. Farmed and crafted with care in the US and trusted by over 500,000 customers, Via Hemp has a product for everyone. Their wide range of premium gummies covers all effects and strength ranges, so you're set whether you're looking to set the mood in the bedroom or chill out after a long day. Lab tested and certified, Via Hemp's products are sourced from the finest hemp for your peace of mind. Via is well known for their premium THCA flower, grown indoors in state-of-the-art facilities and harvested at peak THCA levels to emphasize a natural aroma and flavor. The THCA flower strains are grown with care and rigorously tested to ensure the highest quality, free from harsh pesticides or nasty chemicals. And the best part, Via legally ships to all 50 states in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. No medical card required. So, if you're 21 or over, check out our link to Via's website in our description for 15% off. From my experience with Via, their products have been a game changer. I love how the gummies help me relax after a long day, and their THCA flower has the perfect aroma and flavor. The health benefits are incredible, and I feel much better knowing that everything is lab tested and certified. My favorite product has got to be their Dreams Sleep Gummies line for, well, sleep. It's been a lifesaver for getting a good night's rest. Unlock the power of nature this summer with Via's organic and vegan hemp extracts, perfect for relaxation and rejuvenation. Whether you want to get better sleep, ease anxiety, enhance your mood, or just have a good time, they have something for you. They also have zero THC products for those who prefer to avoid THC. If you're 21 or over, check out the link to Via in our description and use the code MIDAS, that's MEIDAS, to receive 15% off. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Spice up your summer and embrace the natural power of hemp with Via today.
And here you have Donald Trump, say that, oh, you've got Vice President Kamala Harris. She's the prosecutor, and you're saying I'm the felon. Here, play this clip.
So think of it. They get me to that position, and then their campaign says, I'm the prosecutor, and he is the convicted felon. That's their campaign. I don't think people are going to buy it, and we want.
And then you have Donald Trump whining and saying, she's the criminal. She's a criminal. I'm not. But she should be disqualified. Here, play this clip.
Kamala's deadly destruction of America's borders is completely and totally disqualifying. She shouldn't even be allowed to run for president. What she's done, she's committing crimes.
And then contrast that to what President Biden said, how in the next 6 months, his focus is on doing the job for the American people each and every day. Take a look at this.
Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence. Our planet from climate crisis is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it. I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific. You know, when I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world.
Right. The contrast cannot be clear. And then on the one hand, you've got Donald Trump's vice presidential candidate, J.D. Vance, saying that one of the biggest problems of our country, he says, is childless cat ladies. This is what Donald Trump's vice presidential candidate said. This is video that was unearthed recently. Play the clip.
Saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
And here, by the way, is Alyssa Farah, who was in Donald Trump's administration. Here's what she had to say about that horrific statement by J.D. Vance.
The other is this J.D. Vance clip. I saw it years ago, a couple years ago when he said it, but I am hearing from so many girlfriends, lifelong Republicans, that are so offended by it. Because if you're a woman of about my age or mid-30s, the most common thing that my friends are dealing with is infertility, miscarriages, struggling to get pregnant, wanting to and it not happening, or people who so badly want to get married but they haven't met the right partner yet. How dare you denigrate them and say that they are not as valuable, they don't have as much of a stake in this society.
And then compare that to the forward-looking vision of Vice President Kamala Harris. Here, play this clip.
He intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and make working families foot the bill. They intend to end the Affordable Care Act and take us back then to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. Remember what that was like? Children with asthma, women who survived breast cancer, grandparents with diabetes. America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back. We are not going back. Not going back. We're not going back. We are not going back.
Notice here Donald Trump's like, so do you like J.D. Vance? Like, and you can see in Donald Trump's eyes just how much he hates J.D. Play this clip.
A vote for Trump or Vance, how do you like? How do you like it? J.D. Vance, how do you like him? A vote for Trump, Vance,
Let me show you one more clip of Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's play it.
So in the days and weeks ahead, I, together with you, will do everything in my power to unite our Democratic Party, to unite our nation, and to win this election. You know, as many of you know, before I was elected as Vice President, before I was elected as United States Senator, I was the elected Attorney General, as I've mentioned, of California, and before that I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
And look, to President Biden's point, there's a reason that Vice President Kamala Harris has raised $126 million since Sunday, from Sunday to Wednesday, setting records every day. And Gen Z and Olivia Rodrigo, all these people are rallying around Vice President Kamala Harris because this is, as President Biden says, and passing the torch to the next generation of leadership. And we're gonna improve this country. So while Donald Trump is, talking about like Hulk Hogan like this, play the clip.
No, they're great. They're great people. And we had a great convention. We had a convention that broke all television ratings. How good was the Hulkster, right? Oh. And Kid Rock called. He wanted to be a part. He was fantastic. But they were all fantastic. It was the greatest. It was just a flawless convention. It was great. And the television ratings were record-setting ratings. You all read that. They were record-setting ratings. And
you've got President Biden addressing the nation like this. Play the clip.
My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claremont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. You just have to keep faith, keep the faith, and remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
So tell me what you think, but you can see the big distinction there in visions, in my view. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.